All right, Kristen and Bryan are our first presenters this evening.
Give him a hand.
Give him a hand.
Rockstar welcome.
Exactly.
Right here.
Yes.
There you go. You are not second, you are first. How about
Yes. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Kristen. This is Bryan. We've been married. Sorry, we've been married for about 22 years. We joined Lifestyles in 21, looking for something else. I had been at my company for a long time, 11 years, and there was just nowhere else to go. The ladder, I was at the top of the ladder there. So we got more serious, and I decided to quit my job to devote our time to real estate. Bryan was laid off, how long ago?
In 2020.
Okay. He was doing something on the side as a hobby, making brass brake pads, and that kind of was just something on the side that he did, but he got laid off from oil and gas, and he was like, okay, well, I'm just going to do this. And I was like, okay, well, we'll see if it pays our bills. So it did, and still is, so we're able to pursue this, and we have 2 single-family houses now, which we're going to talk about one tonight.
Very true. All right. So when did you join, and why did you join?
21 in October. We joined because we wanted more time for our family and work less, just like everybody else that's here.
Okay. All right. So this evening we're going to talk about this house on Pine Needle Lane, right? Tell us how you found out about this.
It was through the Lifestyles email blast.
Okay. And the email blasts are something that Chris will talk about this weekend as well. Okay. And he's going to walk you through all that kind of.
Who wants to get deals in their email? You're my lazy investors. You're like me. That's great.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So you found it through.
Through Lifestyles, through Jennifer McCormick.
Then what happened after that?
We went and looked at the property and went through all the numbers, and we ended up purchasing it.
Okay, very good. Was there any doubt in your mind? Were you scared? How did you feel about it?
This was the second one, so there was really no hesitation or anything on this one. I was pretty gung-ho at that point.
Compared to your first one?
Right.
So do you feel as you buy more houses, or as you progress, you're gaining more confidence? Is that an
yes.
accurate statement?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so this is before and after. How big is this house?
1,500 square feet.
Okay. How many bedrooms, bath, garage? That
Well,
kind of?
no garage. When we bought it, it only had it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath, so we added a second bathroom to it to make it a 3-2.
Okay. That's a beautiful upgrades there. So, and Chris will go over this again this weekend, right? Is how we remodel our properties. It's not HGTV competition. It's not a show. It's truly, right? It's, once you fix up the first house, the second, third, and on, they're all going to look the same. Bathroom, great job there. So, who helped you? Did you help design this house? I said design.
As far as the colors and
yes.
No, we went with gray and white like Lifestyles.
Okay, and your first house. So this is the second house. How does the first house look?
Just like that one.
Just like that one. All right, very good.
So we actually had this one rented before the rehab was done, and I had pictures of the first house online, and because it was going to look the same.
So you were able to use that pictures from the first house. Is that okay?
Correct.
And Chris will go over this weekend as well. So what I'm trying to say is they just followed the Lifestyles map, right? And the map will be shared with you this weekend when you come and attend at least Saturday.
Did you do any work on the house yourself?
I did some on this one, yes.
Oh.
Oh, well, I
wasn't supposed to, but I did.
Wait a minute. So where do you need to go? To the back of the book.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll learn what that means.
Okay, so let's talk about numbers. We all love numbers here. Purchase price was $108, right? Your appraised value was $229,000. Was there a difference between the first appraisal and the second, or it was just
no,
the same?
When we first looked at the property, Jennifer and I was thinking it would appraise at about 200, and then when the appraisal came in, it was at 229, so it came in quite a bit higher than we expected, which was good.
Okay, And for the new ones here this evening and online or in the room, we tend to go conservative on our numbers, and we give you the worst case scenario. And when we look at the numbers together, we look at them as, does this work for you today? And in their situation, it worked out very well because they had an extra $29,000, right, in the ARV. The rehab was $67,000, and that makes the cash out of pocket of $10,000, a little bit close to $11,000. I was looking at their closing statements, and they received $2,000 back from the lender.
At the 30-year close.
At the yes, okay. The rent is $1,650, and the cash flow is $517 a month. That's very decent. That makes your cash on cash return is 59%. So I want to, by show of hands, if you were to give, who today in this room or online has $10,000 in the bank and they're getting $500 a month from the bank, right? But that's what real estate does for you, right? It allows you to have this kind of returns, and only, I would think, I will go out on a limb and say only real estate allows you to have these returns. Do you agree?
I would agree.
Okay, all right. So your equity capture is $34,000. That's a little bit over 300% return.
Is that exciting to you?
Yep.
Yeah? Yeah, give me a hand for that, absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's your excited face, huh?
Very excited, right?
All right. Who wants a 350% return? I mean, my gosh. Woo! Heck yeah.
Yes.
He smiled.
Okay, so you
Does
have.
he get more animated than that every now and again? Yeah.
He
Oh,
does? Okay.
it's the lights. It's the lights.
All right, so you have a portfolio of 2 single-family homes, right?
Correct.
The first one cash flows $5,200, a little bit over $5,200, and the second one is $6,200 for a total of $11,000. So that is as if you had an increase of $11,000 a year, right, in cash flow. I remember when I was in my W-2 job, my boss called me into the office to do the year-end review, and she said, "Oh, here is your increase." Literally, and no lie, my increase. My paycheck was about $25, right? Anyway, yeah, I can laugh about that now. I was not happy then, or let me tell you. Yes, yes. Anyway, so how has lifestyle changed your life in general?
Just having the future that we know we don't have to work for another 20 or 30 years.
Yes, yes.
And spending time with the kids, being home every night, and field trips and all that.
Sure, sure. Okay, so short-term goals, long-term goals?
So short-term goals is we're aspiring leads trying to find us an apartment community to get going, kind of scale up a little bit.
Okay, very good. And who was on your team?
So Jennifer McCormick was the realtor, and then the mentors, Sorrell, Hen, and Doug. All-Star Contractors did all the rehab, and then we used Searchers for the hard money lender on both properties, and First Imperial was the 30-year lender on this one.
Okay,
Awesome.
all right. Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
March
When did you
of
buy it
last
for the
year.
people online?
Yeah, so we purchased this property March of last year.
March of 2021.
It's been a year.
So it's been a year. Okay, very good. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Are you planning on cutting it loose pretty quick, or are you going to let it?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm going to repeat the question for the online. Okay, so the question was, how soon are you looking to sell the property?
So we were planning on trying to sell them pretty quick. This one, it sounds like the tenant she's a veteran and acts like she wants to buy it, but we're still trying to see if she's going to come through. But right now, we're just, with the multifamily stuff, we have money sitting around. So like, if we sell it, we don't have anything to do with it. So we're going to hold on to them for a little while.
Okay, so the one thing that you're going to find yourself, it's a nice predicament to have, is you have your $500 cash flow, and I know what you're going to say. $500 cash flow, because I followed your advice. You have $500 cash flow, and you have, $60,000 sitting in the bank that you can roll into the next house, next few deals, right? And it's something that you have to think about. And this is where you come to us and you make just a phone call or an email, and we can walk through all the scenarios with you and what works best, for the situation, also given the market and what's going on, okay? Any question online?
Yeah, one question. What was the rate on the 30-year?
About 6.3, I think. We could have got a little bit lower rate, but we want the higher rate to save on closing costs. So we got $2,000 back with the higher rate at closing instead of having to pay about $2,000.
So, and still $500 cash flow a month.
Correct.
Yes,
That's a really good deal.
yes.
The property taxes are really low on this property.
What county is it in?
Montgomery.
Montgomery, okay. It's not in Harris County. All right, any other question? Yes, sir.
Yes, how long did it take you to get from your initial mentor meeting to operating your first property?
How long did it take you to join, sit down with Hind, or whoever you sat down with, and then buy your first property?
So as far as the mentor meeting, I don't remember exactly. I think I started looking for houses actively within, it was a week or maybe less than 2 that we were under contract on the first property from the email blast. It was quick.
Okay, so, and I'm sure Chris will talk about this. Really, we usually what would happen when you join is that we would like for you to have a property under your belt within the first 30 days, right?
We average about 27 days for the first property to be purchased on single family, if you want to do single family.
Yes. However, that depends on you as a person, and also on personality, how scared you are, time, how much time you have to dedicate to the education, because we would like for you to have the education, the mentoring meeting before you jump into a property. So there are people that, get into a deal within 2 weeks, and there are others that are, get into a deal 6 months later. And as Chris will talk about, you have the 80-20 rule, right? The 80% will help me out. This is the lifeline that I was talking about earlier.
20% of the results come from 80%.
Yes, so it's really up to you. You have to, when you join the gym, you have to go to the gym, right? You have to make it happen. And this is why we're here to help everybody, right? That decide that make a decision and, get that first step going is reach out to the mentor, and we sit down and we talk. And we're here to push you, right? But it all stems from you and what you want to do and how bad you want to change your situation. How really sick and tired are you of being sick and tired, right? And that's what spurred my action on my part. Okay?
All right, Kristen, I got the last question for you. What would you tell the new folks in the room
Yes.
and online?
Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. Got to elaborate on
Just
that.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
All right, she's Nike all
Jump
the way.
in.
Well, you can be scared, but take action, and
Yes.
it gets way easier. First one's the hardest.
First one is the hardest, yes. First one is the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
First one is the hardest. Personally, I tried to kill the deal, and I will never forget, and I will always be grateful for Jennifer. She pushed me, and I talked to my mentor, and I tried to kill the deal, and what happened? I was like, no, the deal works, and we signed the contract, and we never looked back, and it was one house every month, for the next, I don't know how long. So just don't be scared, follow, just stay close to the mentor, just work with the mentor. We're here to help you every step of the way and clear all the hurdles and all, the scary thoughts that can come and, just stop you from moving forward. Okay? All right, thank you guys. Really appreciate it.